Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum students. Welcome to our course Lexical Studies. In our last lecture, we have discussed about some semantic fields, semantic roles and semantic features we have discussed, and we have discussed some semantic analysis. Or under the category of semantic roles and semantic features, we have discussed some reference or referent or sense, agent, patient, experiencer, or instrument, goal, and benefactor. Although there are some sort of overlapping, for example, the word when we see the word experiencer, when we see the role of experiencer, the role of the agent are same. Next, there is the role of the recipient or role of the patient in the role of benefactor, all also same. There are overlapping. We can understand in this way. So let's move on our to today's lecture. Today we will discuss about sense relations or lexical relations. Means words can be treated as containers of meaning or as a fulfilling roles in events. They can also have relationship with each other. As a human being have relationship, we have some our relatives, we have siblings, we have parents, we have aunt, uncle, grandparents, or we have maternal parents or paternal parents. Likewise, words also have their relationship with their words. Of course, the terminology and the words will be different from our relationships. There will be no aunt word or there will be no grandparents word. Anyhow, we will discuss all these relationship of the meanings of the words. So let's go on. In everyday talk, we often explain the meanings of the words in terms of their relationship. If we are asked the meaning of the word conceal means to hide. For example, we might simply say it is the same as hide, or give the meaning of the shallow as the opposite of the deep. That is not deep, that's called shallow. Or the meaning of the daffodil as the kind of flower. In doing so, we are categorizing the meaning of each word, from which category this word belong to. Is it synonyms? Is it belong to the similar category, or it is belong to the opposite category, or this is the belong to a general category or specific category? We will discuss in this way. So in doing so, we are characterizing the meaning of each word, not in terms of its component features, but in terms of the relationship to other words. This approach is used in the semantic description of language and treated as analysis of lexical relations or analysis of sense relations. Here we can see almost around 6 types of these relationships, these sense relationships. So number one is their synonyms or synonymy, antonymy, hyponymy or homonymy, polysymy or metonymy. So these are sounds very good, while these are the rhyming words. So let's move on towards the detail of all these types of sense relations. Synonyms, as you can understand, similar words or the words that have same meaning. Two or more words with very closely related meaning are called synonyms. Synonym is one of the characteristic feature of the vocabulary of natural languages. Natural languages, we can say English, Urdu, which are developed languages, or many other languages of the world. We can see British English, or there are some categories, or over there in English variety we can see the categories British English or American English, New Zealand English, Australian English, or Urdu, Punjabi, or Hindi, Persian. There are many languages, and these are called natural languages. English, as a highly developed language, is known for its copious stock of synonyms. It means there are many words that can be used in a similar meaning, or in other words, we can say a word has many meanings, has many different meanings that we can attach to with that particular single word, or a single word has many more meanings. Even as early as the Anglo-Saxon period. Anglo-Saxon period means we are talking about the Old English period. before the Middle Age period or modern period of English language. So in Anglo-Saxon period, the use of synonyms to add the variety of language was noticeable. We can see in the writings, or we can see the writing, or in genres of prose and poetry, we can see these examples of the synonyms words in the writings of the earlier people. As Jesperson noted in his book Growth and Structure of the English Language, the wealth of synonyms terms found in Old English poetry is astonishing. For example, it's the name of the poem, Beowulf alone, this alone word. There were at least 36 words used for this word of Beowulf, Beowulf or Beowulf. It means hero or prince. 17 expressions or words found used for the word sea, plus 13 more other poems, and 11 words for ship or boat, or plus 16 more in other poems. So we can see plenty of words that can be associated with this term of synonyms. Or not only in Old English writing, in modern English, or in today's life, we can also see the abundant of examples of these synonyms. Synonyms may differ in degrees of intensity. Take rich and wealthy. For example, here is the discrimination, or here are subcategories we can understand by this word synonyms. Synonyms, it doesn't mean that the 17 meanings for one word. For example, hero and prince has 17 expressions or 17 words for the word Beowulf, or for the hero or protagonist, as we can say. So it doesn't mean that all words have the similar degree of value. So a rich man and a wealthy lady are both rich, but the wealthy lady is felt to possess more money and property than a rich man. The same difference is found between work and toil. Work, as we usually do work sometimes without less effort or easily, that is done. We can say I'm doing my work. But the toil, when we toilsome work or toilsome activity, it means we are taking great effort to perform this duty. So the work and toil, the former being is general term having no special implications as light or heavy and mental or physical work. The later means second word toil, usually suggesting heavy and tiring work associated with more and manual than mental labor. Next word is antonymy. Antonymy, the opposite word, as we usually heard from our since childhood when we have started to learn English language. We have these two terms, synonyms and antonyms. Synonyms, similar words, and antonym, opposite word, or antonymy. So antonymy is concerned with semantic opposition. Yeah, like we have in political or politicians, opposite party, or there is a one party who is ruling party, who is governing the state, and there is an other party, the opposition party. As in our state or in our country, they are supposed to criticize the party who is governing the state. So antonym can be defined as words which are opposite in meaning, not in criticizing the meaning. So there are three types of antonymy, we can say: complementaries, contradictory, and contraries, or number three, third one is converse. What is complementaries? Or complementaries or contradictory, contradiction, to oppose. These antonyms truly represent oppositeness of meaning. If one is present, the other will be not present, or if the other will be present, the first one will not be present. For example, here you can see two examples: the word dead and alive. If one is dead, the other person will be not alive, or if one person is alive, the other person will not dead. Then there is a dark and light. If there is a darkness, we will not see the light, and if there is a light, we will not see the darkness. Opposite meaning, totally opposite meaning. Next type is contraries. Contrary terms, antonyms of this type are best viewed in terms of the scale running between two poles or extremes. Antonyms such rich, poor, old, young, or big, small represent 2 points as both ends of the poles. The two opposites are gradually gradable, and one exists in comparison with the other. There are some degrees, or there are some levels of degrees, like if one is rich, or it could be richer, or big, or it could be bigger. These are the contraries types of antonym as compared to complementary type of antonym. Antonym of this kind of form part of a scale of values between two poles. For example, here you can see the examples of old and young. These are the two poles. But here in the middle of these two poles, we can understand there is another word with the word is middle age. Old, then there is a middle aged, or then there is a young people. So these are the two poles, old and young, and the between the is a next word. Next word is open and close. These are the two poles, and these are the two extreme. If one thing is open, the other is, it means the next opposite word is close. But here we have another word, ajar. Ajar means half open, or semi open, or half closed. So open and close, between these two poles we have another word, ajar. Next word is rich or poor. These are the two poles, two extremes, and the middle word, the middle scale or middle degree is well to do. Next word is hot and cold, two poles, and in the middle of these we have two more words, hot, warm, cool, or cold. Next, third type of antonym is converse, relative terms. This third type consists of the relational opposites such as parent, child, husband and wife, predecessors and successors. Predecessors means old generation, and successors mean new generations. Employer or employee. The person who does the job is called employee, and the owner of the business or trade who appoints the persons for his business, it means he or she would be called employer. The pair of words indicate, these sorts of pair of words indicate such a reciprocal social relationship. Reciprocal means equal, or to some extent. If there is a husband, it must be there is a wife. If there are a child, there is a child, it must be the parent. Or predecessor or successor, employer or employee, means the reciprocal meanings, similar, same meanings, or what we can say. We understand that these are the complementary words, and in social relations, that one of them cannot be used without suggesting the other. This type also includes reverse terms. So we can also say reciprocal social relationship, or we can say reverse term, which comprise adjectives and verbs signifying a quality, or verbs and nouns signifying an act or state that reverse the quality and action. So here are some other examples. For example, sell, buy, parent, child, teacher, pupil or student, here, there, or right, left, give and receive. These are the examples of the converse. Next type is hyponymy. Hyponymy deals with the relationship of semantic inclusion. That is the meaning of more specific word is included in that of form of another in general word. These specific words are known as hyphonyms. And for instance, tulip and rose are the hyphonyms of flower, and the lion and elephants are the hyphonyms of animals. When the meaning of one form is included in the meaning of another, the relationship is described as hyphonymy. Let's see some other examples so you will be able to understand it very well. The general words flower and animals are the superordinate terms, and the more specific one, tulip, rose, lion, elephant, are the subordinate terms. Superordinate and subordinate terms. The general one is the superordinate, like flower and animals. These are the general category, and there are some more words that we include under the category of flower. We can say these are the subordinate terms. For like animals, animals would be superordinate, and names of the animals that we will add under the category of this general word animal, we will say these are the subordinate terms. Flower, for example, flower is a superordinate. And rose, plum, or cherry santhemum. Next word is animal is a rose, plum, or cherry santhemum. These are the examples of the subordinate, whereas flower is the example of superordinate. Animal is the example of superordinate. Horse, sheep, tiger, and any other examples. You can more and more examples of the animals. These are the subordinates of this term, or these are the specific one. Matter is the superordinate, and solid, gas, liquid, water, these sorts of things we can say these are the subordinate of this word matter. See some more examples like color. Color is the superordinate, and it's called hypernym. Hypernym, and the more category that we add in this term, or this general term of color, this is superordinate. Red, white, and black, these are the hyphonym. Color is a hypernym, and red, white, and black, the specific term or specific names of under this general category, these are called hypernym, and these are called subordinate. Next word is flower. Flower is a hypernym, or flower is a superordinate, and there are some, it's a general term. It's a superordinate, it's a general term. Under this flower, under this superordinate term, rose, jasmine, and orchid, these are the names of the flowers, and these are called subordinates and hyphonyms. Next, there is a homonymy. Homonymy. Homo means same. Homo are generally defined as the words different in meanings, but either identical both in sound and spelling, or identical only in the sound or spelling. For example, we can understand where maybe do you remember, or maybe you have remembered that in your secondary education, when you give your exam of metric exam in English course, maybe you have read about pair of words. Yes, pair of words like eligible, or like this affect or effect, as I can remember. It's a matter of long time ago. Maybe you are in a better position to understand or to remember the words when you have taken your exam of metric. So we knew at that time that these are the category of the similar words or pair of words, but here we can understand with more detail those sorts of things. So homonyms are the words may be similar in sounds and similar in spelling, or maybe they are different in some sort of, maybe different in sounds, or but the meanings are same. So based on the degree of similarity, homonyms fall into three classes: perfect homonyms, or homographs, and homophones. Homonyms and perfect homonyms are words identical both in sound and spelling, but different in meanings. So the words, when we pronounce those words, these are the same, and spellings are the same, and pronunciation is the same, like bank or bank. The first one, bank, noun, the edge of the river, lake, bank, or bank, an establishment for many business. Bank, we need to deposit the money in Maybank, or in Pakistan we can say in HBL or MCB. These are the names of the banks. Next one is bear, a large heavy animal, or bear, to put up with. We can say, I can't bear this uh, this guy, I can't bear this one or this task. So these are the things we can understand. The perfect homonyms means the sound is same or spelling is same, but meanings are different. So after perfect homonyms, there is second type, is homograph. Homo means same, graph means writing, or words identical only in spelling but different in sound and meanings. Spelling will be same, but pronunciation will be different, meanings will be different. For example, the one word is Bow, bending the head as a greeting, as we want to show respect for other people. So we bow. To some extent, we make down or we lower our head to show the respect. Next word is bow, the device used for shooting arrows. The next word is sow, the scattered seeds. As you sow, so shall you reap. Next word is sow, a female adult pig. So the words are same, sorry, spellings are same, meanings different, pronunciation is different. Homograph. Third type is homophones. Homo means same, or phones mean sound. Phonemes or phonetic, these are the related to the sounds. These are the words which are identical or similar only in sound but different in spelling and meanings. For example, deer, a loved person, or next word is deer, a kind of animal. Right, correct, or write, to put down on paper with a pen, or write, a ceremonial procedure, or it's related to ceremonies, rituals, or rites. So these are the words that are similar in sounds but spellings are different and meanings are also different. Next with type of sense relations or lexical relation is the polysemy. Polysemy, what is this? Polysemy is a common feature peculiar to all natural languages. This is particularly true of highly developed languages like English. In modern English, the overwhelming majority of words are polysemous. Casual glance of any pages of an English dictionary will justify the fact. Means we can see abundant examples of these polysemy words. There are words that have 2 or 3 senses, and the most commonly used one can have as many as over 100. We have seen this word has many words to express this word 100. The problem of interrelation of the various meanings of the same word can be dealt with from 2 different angles: diachronic approach and synchronic approach. So polysemy, when we will discuss under the 2 categories: diachronic and synchronic. Diachronic, from the diachronic point of view, polysemy is assumed to be the result of the growth and development of the semantic structure of one and the same word. At the time when the word was created, it was endowed with only one meaning. This first meaning, the primary meaning, as we can say denotative meaning or dictionary meaning or the actual meaning or the thematical meanings, as with the conceptual meaning. With the advance of the time, with the passage of time, there are some sort of changes and new vocabularies are related or associated with that particular one word. So we can see look on more and more meanings. So with these basic meanings of the word, there are some additional meanings, and these later meanings are called derived meaning, as they are all derived from the primary meaning, the basic word or the basic or conceptual meaning. Take the word this face, for example, face, the first initial or dictionary or basic meaning or conceptual meaning we can make the front of the head, facial features, or we talk about our face. The expression of the countenance, it also means face. Countenance means face or expression of the face. A surface of a thing, these are also words that are associated with this single word face. Surface of a thing, or a side or surface that is marked, or as of a clock or playing card, the surface of all these things. The appearance, outward aspects of resemblance, these are associated meaning with the basic primary word of face. Next, there is a synchronic approach. Polysemy is viewed as the existence of various meanings of the same word in a certain historical period of time, say modern English. In this way, the primary meaning of a word is the core of word meaning, called the central meaning. The derived meaning, no matter how many, are secondary in comparison. The first word is it is the derived, the first word, it's called central meaning. The next word are called secondary in comparison. We can now say that this is a central word, but these are the additional words or secondary words that are associated to basic word or central word. for example, with the word of face. In the case of the word face, in one example, the central meaning and all the rest are minor ones. The number one, face. This is the basic or central meaning, and all those 4 or 5 meanings that we have discussed in our previous slides, these are the minor ones. If we want to compare those words, so this doesn't necessarily mean that the secondary meaning are secondary in importance. It doesn't mean that if the number 2, the meaning of the face, the words are associated on the number of 2, 3, 4, or second, third, or fourth, fifth. These are the have less values, and these are not indications of our communication, or there is problems when you will use these words. No, it doesn't mean that. There are cases where the central meaning has gradually diminished in currency with the changes that have taken place in the culture and society, and one of the derived meaning has become dominant. So basic word is understood by the society, or but here the second priority or second prioritized word that will be taken as the second place, this will be determined by the society and culture, what sort of the additional or secondary meanings they will associate, or it depends upon the context, in which context which word will be accurately will be used as in an accurate sense, so we can say. So these are the synchronic meanings. Here you can see some more example of synchronic polysemy. For example, the word gay. Here are 9 meanings of this word: gay, joyous, or lively, merry, happy, or brilliant, bright, or given the social life and player, wanton, licentious, bright, or attractive, cheerful, happy, full of fun, lively, enjoyable, or lively and interesting, bright, and pretty. Here you can understand in synchronic polysemy a lot of examples we can see under this category. So we can understand the coexistence of various meanings under this synchronic, and some words, the basic word, we can say the primary meanings, or the other one. For example, the example number 1 is the primary meaning: gay, merry, or happy. But the rest of the all examples from 2nd to 9, these are the marginal meaning, or these are the minor meaning or secondary meanings. We can understand in this way. Number 6 is metonymy. The relatedness of meaning found in PolicyMe is essential based on the similarity. The head of a company is similar to the head of a person, or on top of and controlling the body. There is another type of a relationship between words based simply on a close connection in everyday experience. So under this term of metonymy, the close connection can be based on a container or contents or relation. For example, the bottle and water, we can see the relationship between these two words: can and juice, whole and part relationship, or car or wheels, house and roof, or representativeness or symbol relationship, king, crown, the president, the White House. Using one of these words to refer to the other is an example of metonymy. Some more examples we can understand: he drank the whole bottle. How can we say he drank the whole bottle? Means what the juice was available in the bottle, he drank all of the juice. So the White House has announced. The White House is not a person. How can he announce, or how can he do an announcement? But we can understand, we can relate this White House with the president of America. So White House definitely obviously means that the president has given some announcement regarding particular event. Downing Street protested. Downing Street, these are not persons, they are not alive. How can they protest it? It means the dweller or the inhabitants of those streets, they protested. So we can relate the things in this way. This is end of our today's lecture.